so that your shoulders are getting close to the water. Now I'm getting a ton of push, a ton of pull, but I'm really not working that hard at it.
Hello everyone and welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. And today is going to be a bit of a how-to because it's been a while. But first things first, I got a Paragon! But it's not mine, I'm just borrowing it. Corey Tunison, he went to Australia, and so I got to use this while I'm waiting for my new boat to show up. What's it going to be? We're just going to have to wait and see. But this is what I got to use for now. Corey, thanks for letting me use this, buddy. Good on you, mate. Appreciate ya. Cue the ducks. They're noisy. Don't mind them, they're just the neighbor's ducks. Hey guys, come on! Before I coach people these days, what I do is I tell them we're gonna be going over 3 things, and these all kind of build upon each other. So it's like a pyramid, a triangle. Boop, boop, boop. Tim, you can put a triangle in here. Bam! And these all actually really build upon each other. And what they are body position, connection, leaning against the line. With those 3 things, riding can become a lot easier, meaning you put less effort into it and you get a lot more out of it. The great thing about these 3 things is it allows you to put less effort into your riding to get more out of it. One of the most common questions that people ask is, should I be squatting before I jump? My answer is you can, but you don't have to. An analogy that I use is if you've ever jumped on a trampoline. If you haven't, just stick with me on this. But if you've ever jumped on a trampoline and had somebody double bounce you, you don't have to put anything into it. All you have to do is receive it, meaning just stand strong. Okay, so when somebody bounces you, it goes up through your body. One of the best ways to do that is to stack your bones up. When you're riding, it's not really this cartoonish picture of somebody squatting and doing this and riding like this. Can you do that? Yes. Can you ride like this? Yes. Can you cut into the wake like this? Yes. But in reality, when we're riding, it's just standing there. Our bones are stacked on top of each other, and you're leaning against the line. This is a confident, comfortable rider. If you're in bad body position, the handle will actually feel like it's almost trying to pull you out the front. And so you're like, just be cool. Don't yank me onto my face, but I need you for speed. But in reality, the handle can be power, control, and support. So when you are really in a good stacked up position where your bones are stacked on top of each other, you don't have to lock everything out, but stand up. And what you want to do is you want to connect your core. So the cool thing about when you stand up is the handle will sit closer down to your core. So the more that when you're riding, you'll feel the connection in the core. And what does that mean, your connection? So in riding, there's a couple set of physics that are happening. You have push coming up through the board, and you have pull in the handle. And your body is the connection to push and pull. When they're skiing, very disconnected. It's this motion, and the more comfortable they get, it's here for water skiing. It's here for wakeboarding. And what that is their core gets connected into the handle. Okay, so you have push and pull happening here. Anytime you're in an uh-oh position, most likely your hips are disconnected. Okay, so the best way to connect your hips, stack up. A good way to stack up, arch your lower back. Keep your chest up, think about keeping sun on your chest, and lean against the line. Okay, so we have body position, stack up, connection happening in the core, and leaning against the line. Leaning against the line is something that you really want to think about when you are riding. And it seems, yeah, of course you're going to lean against the line, especially when you want to cut heel side. It's easy to lean against the line. But have you ever seen somebody jump heel side and get pitched out the front? That generally happens, in my humble opinion, because they're getting to the wake, trying to get themselves to go across, so they actually lean in the direction they're going, and they're leaning ahead of the support of the line rather than against the line. The most common place you'll see not leaning against the line is toe side. So for a left foot forward rider, what they'll do is they will lean ahead of the line. And when they get to the wake, they'll feel like they get tripped, or they get too far behind the board and they go out and they actually loop out onto their heels. So a good way to fix that, think lean against this back shoulder. Leaning against the line happens in the back shoulder on toe side, and then as you go heel side, you'll feel yourself lean against the line in both shoulders. When you do that, you're going to feel much more supported. Okay, the rope will actually become power, support, and control. So stack up, connect, lean against the line. Really think about that as your foundation. When you do that, you're actually going to be really powerful as you're riding around. And then you can use that for things such as load release. Okay, I showed a video in that. You can actually find that right here on how to get more pop even with a small wake. And too often people rely on too big of a wake so they get pop, but it's really body position, connection, and leaning against the line. So today I'm actually going to be riding with BbTALKIN. The cool thing is we're going to have this unit hooked up to the camera. You guys can hear me as I'm riding, and hopefully this makes a lot more sense. This here is what they call the Shaun Murray package. It is the helmet and the surf hat, and you can go to BbTALKINUSA.com and check it out. And it's actually really cool for anybody to use so they can communicate with the people riding. You can also take these same units, and I snowboard with them. You can hook up a bunch of people at once to it. Totally changes snowboarding. So anyway, let's go hit the water and show you guys the triangle, the pyramid. I don't know what we're going to call it, but it's the three things that I tell everybody is the foundation of riding and makes riding feel a lot better. Cool? Here we go.
So wake jump, backside 180. Once we turn around, we're going to start talking about the three pinnacle, I don't know what to call them, the three main points of riding. Currently I have my rope set up to 65 feet. The boat speed is about 20 miles an hour, and this is fine just to practice a couple foundational things. All right, so let's talk first about body position. When you get out here, you want to think about stacking up. Now notice I'm not locking everything out, but I'm just standing here, and I'm not bent over, and I'm definitely not getting my chest on top of the board. I want to get everything stacked up. So stand up, I'm arching my lower back, and I'm leaning against the line. What that does is that puts my core connected into the handle. So this is pretty much just standing there, leaning against the line. When I'm coaching people, I'll say, okay, now I want you to purposely disconnect your hips. I want you to reach your hands forward, feel your hips disconnecting, essentially get into a bad position. So you're going like this, where the handle is going past the board. And now I want you to connect your hips, and you don't do it by pulling in on the handle. Leave the handle nice and relaxed. Hands can be apart, can be together, wherever feels good to you, honestly. And arch your back. That puts your core connected. So right now, the board is in front of me. I'm pushing it through the water so that my hips are behind the board, my shoulders are behind my hips. So here I am stacked up. When I want to go to the right, I don't lean right. I lean against the line slightly to the right. So it's really just straight back against the line. And I tell people, what I want you to do is after I show them this body position, I say, okay, now cut hard. And what everybody does is they squat down because it feels like they're cutting hard. I say, okay, stop, reset, go back to the wake, stack up, get your shoulders back, your hips up, arch your back. And now what I want you to do is I want you to lean back against the line so that your shoulders are getting close to the water. Now I'm getting a ton of push, a ton of pull, but I'm really not working that hard at it. Lean against the line. That keeps the core connected. So now I actually just have all my bones taking the push. So here it is. Push comes up through my body. The harder I cut, the more I get pushed. The more I get pushed, the more I get pulled. And right now, I'm getting a ton of push. I'm laying back on the water, literally almost touched my back to the water, pulling the boat over pretty hard. The opposite, what you shouldn't be doing, you can do, is disconnect your hips a little bit. You can squat. If you're like this and you're reaching forward, you're disconnected. You can squat and connect by leaning your shoulders back, but now my legs are working really hard. So, like I said, can you squat when you jump? Yes. Do you need to? No. So I'm going to do a jump where I don't squat, stand tall, lean against the line. I got plenty of pop. Same thing going this way. Here is when I do squat. I want to take it up a little bit more, but you have to add timing. So you can get more pop. So you can squat, but first show yourself, experience a feeling of getting pop without it. So if you look back in the video, you guys can watch where I show you guys how to load and release. Okay, this is where you're loading power. I call this the power position where you're standing up, not squatting. Power position here, load, and then release. When you release, you don't pull yourself up, you don't push your legs up, but all you do is you cut hard and then stop cutting. So really thinking about that lean against the line, standing tall, connecting at the hips. Same thing can happen over on toe side. The mistake that people make when they cut toe side is when they go to jump the wake, they lean ahead of the line rather than against the line. Now, nearly everybody, when they do a cut out to jump heel side, they have great toe side position. So they'll cut outside the wake, leaning against the line. This is great position. Going into the wake, loading up power. So when they go for the toe side jump, what they do is they actually lean at the wake. Now, that's where I don't feel supported. I don't even like going into the wake that way. What you want to do is you want to lean against this arm on toe side. Practice with a one wake jump. Stay connected at the hips. I'm stacked up, leaning against the line, connected in the core. So toe side feels awkward, but you'll actually surprise yourself how much you feel supported. When you go toe side and you're leaning against the line, you'll feel the borders between you and the boat rather than not between you and the boat. Right now, I'm ahead of the board and I'm not as supported. So now I need to lean against the line. So I'm going to show you a squat on heel side. You don't need to, but you can. You still want to lean against the line, stay connected, and stay stacked up. And that is the foundation of riding. Cool. All right, guys. Well, hopefully just this has helped you guys to maybe understand. Maybe you've gone out and tried it, and you can continue to watch it, dial in your riding, and hopefully these tips help you guys out. So I do appreciate you guys watching. If you guys have questions and comments, you can put those below. If you guys, maybe while you're here, you can subscribe, also hit the notification bell, and always appreciate it when you like and share. And whatever you're doing, on or off the water, always enjoy your ride. Peace! I'm going to ride for a little while. Here's a tail grab. Here's an Indy backside 180. Grabbing Indy, I spot the wake, keeping my eyes the whole time. Heel side. Key on heel side is to really minimize movement. Staying stacked up. Switch heel side. Watch my eyes don't really move. Too often people get disconnected, throw their hand off, and do too much. Let's go for a switch toe side, one of the harder ones. Be patient. Leaning against the line, waiting for it. Got a little bit off axis, but we'll keep going. This one, I'm going to lean against this back shoulder, wait for the top of the wake, turn the hips, keep my eyes still. Now we're going to go backside. Heel side back one. The key here is patience. Look at the landing. I keep my eyes on the landing. This one here, staying against the line. Load, landing a bit short. That was dirty, but we'll take it. No hander for fun.
Pull in hard. Pull. Release.